It is Wednesday, March 23rd, and I am in Portland. This is the sunniest day in Portland, and I have a long, extensive list of things that I want to see revolving around Portland's transit, and I have about 9 hours to complete it. So join me as I adventure through the territory of TriMet, I guess? Yeah, roll the video. So the first step to my transit adventure today is to buy a day pass. This cost me $5. And now that my day pass has been bought, it's time to hop on the light rail to somewhere I don't know yet. So, behind me here, where I just got off, is the South Waterfront Southwest Moody Station. This is the only place in the TriMet network where the Portland streetcar and the TriMet Max trains run in such close proximity, because up in front of me is the Telecom Crossing, and this is the only place where Max trains and the Portland streetcar share trackage. Now, there are platforms at the Moody Station, however, Portland streetcar trains simply bypass that. Where is it? There it is. And they simply bypass that and instead board at a platform further along Moody Street. Well, the TriMet trains and buses stop at the station behind me. So something a little interesting about the transit here is that the Portland streetcar and the TriMet Max are two different systems. So the TriMet Max is a light rail system, and it operates using larger cars, and it extends further into the Portland suburbs, such as Hillsborough or Gresham or the airport. Whereas the Portland streetcar, which we just saw pass by on the Telecom Crossing, is a streetcar system. It's relegated to the more urban areas of Portland. It does loops around Portland, and then there is a spur that serves the OSU. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. There are two separate systems, and only in one place do they actually meet, and that's here on the Telecom Crossing. So as I walk down the Telecom Crossing and come to the end of it, I'm now going to hop on TriMet's Route 9 bus, and that's going to take me to a transfer to Route 8, where I'm going to take that to the hospital on the top of a mountain. I think that's what it is, because there is an aerial tram that connects the streetcar station at the bottom and the hospital at the top. I will be taking the bus up to the top, and then hopefully I'll be riding the tram down. So something interesting to note, up here is the Oregon Rail Heritage Center, and they run excursion trains along a heavy rail line that crosses the light rail tracks. This is fairly rare to see, where heavy rail shares with light rail, or crosses with light rail. And so after a very scenic ride on the Route 8, I'm now at the upper terminus of the Portland tram, so now it's time to hop on that and enjoy a scenic ride down the hill. So it appears I might have gotten off at the wrong stop. I got off at the Sam Jackson Parkway and OHSU bus stop, where there's a big sign that says Portland Aerial Tram, but it's an employee entrance, so now I'm just walking around to the other side where I think there's a regular people's entrance for the tram. I found the tram. So, unfortunately, everything that I just said only applies in the pre-COVID times. Now you need some sort of affiliation with the OHSU hospital in order to ride the tram, as I found out. But I am allowed up here to take pictures, so that is what I did. Yeah, now it's time to hop on the bus back down the hill to see what I do with my life next. So I've arrived here at a Portland streetcar station to capture something I find pretty interesting. The streetcar travels right through a nice little pedestrian plaza. So this pedestrian plaza with the tracks that are running through it, that I'm standing in right now, is part of the Portland State University campus. And I gotta say, Davis is nice and all, but we don't have trolley tracks running through the middle of our campus. Wish we did, though. So I've alighted here in the South Waterfront District of Portland because, well, this is where the tram went and this is where I get lunch because I'm hungry. This is also where the bottom station of the tram is. It's back behind me, but I unfortunately am not able to ride it today. Yeah, this is the area that the north-south line of the Portland streetcar serves. There are no other MAX lines that really serve, and this seems to be mostly new development from what I can tell. And yeah, it's just an interesting little spur of the Portland streetcar. They say that no visit to Portland would be complete without a visit to Powell's City of Books, and since it's currently raining, it looks like that is what I will be occupying myself with until the rain stops. So the rain has for the most part stopped, and so I find myself out in the streets of Portland again, this time in search of TriMet's only underground light rail station. Now that I'm off the Portland streetcar at 11th and Alder, it's time to transfer to the TriMet's red or blue lines because they both serve the only underground station. So the station, of course, is the Washington Park station, and it is 450 feet below the surface, as you can see in the little infographic provided on this very fast-moving elevator. And just like that, 450 feet, we are at the top. So of course, the Washington Park TriMet station is located inside Washington Park. It is also adjacent to the Children's Museum and the Oregon Zoo. So lots of very cool greenery and stuff located around. And now that I've had a little bit of time to explore Washington Park and the surrounding area, it's time to board TriMet once again, this time the blue line to Hillsborough so I can explore the far reaches of TriMet's network at Forest Grove. one long ride on the Blue Line later, I have come to Hillsborough Transit Center, which is not the end of the Blue Line. It continues one stop further to the Hatfield Government Center, but in the interest of time, I will be turning back here and going to the Beaverton Transit Center. Originally, I'd also said that I would go to Forest Grove, but also in the interest of time, I'm not gonna do that, so instead I'm at the farthest reach of the TriMet Max system. But yeah, now it's time to turn back, and I'm going to Beaverton Transit Center next. So another reason I came all the way to Hillsborough today is that I wanted to see a bus run by the Yamhill County Transit District. The Yamhill County Transit District runs buses to McMinnville from here at the Hillsborough Transit Center. But I see no signage or information on where that would be boarding. And there's supposed to be a bus leaving towards McMinnville now, but I see nothing. So yeah, this is a little strange. So I've come to the Beaverton Transit Center, and I'm here to see something very special, TriMet's West Commuter Rail. Now I am rushing a little because I have maybe 2 minutes before the train leaves, but the West Commuter Rail is an interesting, unique branch of the TriMet system. It's operated using DMU rail cars, and it runs from Beaverton to Wilsonville, and that's what I'm hoping to ride today. So after a short and enjoyable ride on the TriMet West, I am here at the Wilsonville Transit Center. This is located deep in South Portland's suburbs, I think, and it's the end of the West Commuter Rail. It's also where there's connections to SMART, the South Metro Area Rapid Transit System. Yeah, some thoughts on the ride was that it was really nice, something that I wish more communities had. Unfortunately, that was something of the past, and yeah, the West train is a bit of a rarity, but a nice rarity at that. Now, the idea of diesel multiple units servicing small communities is nothing new. In Japan, they have several systems just like West, one-car systems shuttling to main urban centers, and then just little one-car systems. And historically, in America, we used to have several of these things too. They were operated by what is called a Bud RDC, a Bud rail diesel car. Now, the Buds are very old and are no longer in service in many places. But the West has several that they use in the reserve fleet. These behind me are from the Trinity Railway Express in Dallas-Fort Worth. And these are part of American history. Now, these ones are still in the Trinity Railway Express paint scheme. However, the ones behind the fence. Come on, focus. I know you can do it. I guess you can't. Now, these RDCs behind the fence, they are in the TriMet West colors because they used to operate before the current DMUs were put in service. So this train is super comfortable. The seats even recline. And there's Wi-Fi on board. And yeah, it's just a super comfortable ride. A marked difference from the Max Light Rail, but I guess this is because this is commuter rail. It also only operates during peak times, unfortunately. So I am now at the Tigard Transit Center after my very enjoyable ride on the TriMet West. I'm here to transfer to the Route 12 bus, which will take me back to downtown Portland. Yeah, my day's almost coming to a close. Ah ha ha, please do not leave without me. And so, after quite a bit of a journey from Tigard, I am finally here at the last transit thing that I wanted to see of the day, Portland's famous Union Station. So yeah, now that I'm at Union Station, this video is over. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'll see you next time.